We're back with our
For
bang
anyone
now.
that's just tuning in, we've already covered our first topic. Had some connection issues,
We did.
but not to be helped. One of those things, isn't it? See the
It
bit
is.
rates down at the amber warning again.
Shouldn't be 6,400 fucking bit rate.
Giving us
should
a
be.
hard time. But yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yes. Anything else you want to add though, John, to the
No,
obviously
I mean,
the box
really
office?
just Stephen box office wise, very impressive start. 4 days in, number 6 in the US market. I don't know how it's doing over here, but very impressive start for Fighter. Critically, it's a little bit more muddied. The critical response, not so as positive. They are shitting from a great height on it in the main, 27% rating. But the average person who's more who I would be aligned with, because they're going to give you a more sort of transparent and honest opinion. The average person who just wants to go and have a good time, have a bit of escapism, which was for me what theatre's all about. Going and seeing a movie in the theatre, I should say. They're rating it much higher. So, no, I mean, I'm pleased.
Yeah. We're going to move on though to our next topic. And we're going to be talking about Deadpool 3.
And I've made it existential.
That is a great headline, John. Probably a little bit.
It's a little bit OCD.
It's not as long and winded as your internet.
Yeah, that's why I did
headline,
that, Steve.
Which is very
Very fucking
it's
long.
It's like 3 lines worth, but
The
it's
title
almost
of
as big as the actual article.
Yeah, I was about to say that. The title of the article is nearly the same, or the headline is nearly the same length as the actual article.
Yeah, I
which
mean,
is
I did see a similar
intriguing.
topic. I think perhaps maybe on Screen Rant or something like that, Deadline. I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, it
You've
was
seen I'm written off screen.
inspired by. But well, it's actually from a Japanese Marvel website. The actual news came through, John. So everyone's at it. Yeah, everyone's got one. Everybody's got one. With the completion of filming for Deadpool 3, an arsehole that is, a potential plot summary has surfaced online, originating from one of Marvel and Disney's international portal pages, as official confirmation from their US counterparts is still pending. The Japanese Marvel website, as translated by the Direct, presents the following narrative for Deadpool 3. The relevant hero, Deadpool,
is poised
to alter the course of the MCU alongside Wolverine ?
Exclamation mark.
Yeah,
You tell me, Ryan. You're the one that wrote the synopsis, I presume.
Yeah, that's
Is he?
that reeks of Ryan Reynolds.
Is he poised to alter the course of the MCU? I sincerely fucking hope so. Let me tell
Something
you,
has
Stephen,
to be done,
because
yeah.
the MCU is currently in a really, really bad place. Not just the MCU, Stephen. Disney are in a really bad place just now. I don't know what's going on. There doesn't seem to be a consistent, coherent strategy. Bob Geldof, Bob Iger. I seen Bob Geldof was trending on Twitter last night. I was it this morning. I'm like, oh fuck, is he dead? He's not. He's very much still alive. I don't know the context of why Bob Geldof was trending, but Bob Iger, current head CEO of the Disney machine, he's buggering off. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He came back after Chapek made a complete and utter arse of the entire operation. He was having Scarlett Johansson suing him for issues with the obviously paid streaming service thing, COVID. Just disaster after disaster after disaster. You've got the whole wokeism thing that people like to go after Disney for. Seems like they're continuing along in that strategy, certainly with Star Wars. But they're not in a good spot just now, Disney. And that's obviously manifesting in the actual sub-franchises, Star Wars, Marvel, everything, really.
It's funny.
I can't remember the last. I mean, what was the last Marvel movie that was truly great? I mean, I liked Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It was a brilliant movie. It was a fitting end. It's not one of the great Marvel movies. It was a good movie. I'd probably rank Spider-Man.
Which wasn't even proper
Sony?
Marvel. Yeah. Yeah.
How much of that was John Watts and Tom Holland? And how much of that was Disney?
Well, this is it, isn't it? It's just, it seems to be a peak moment after obviously Endgame. There was little moments of good filmmaking in there, John. Shang-Chi, for
I love
instance.
Shang-Chi, yeah. I would say it was a great, truly great.
Yeah, I mean, it was something different,
Marvel
wasn't it, as well? But you're
it was
right.
an enjoyable Marvel movie, and it was funny.
For me, Guardians 3 has probably been the last good one for a while. I think Thor, Love and Thunder was terrible. Doctor Strange 2, terrible.
Shocking. Really disappointing.
I've not seen the Marvel film, John.
I've
Captain
not seen
Marvel.
it yet either.
I'm not really that fussed.
Coming on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Streaming service.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's not fatigue with me. Certainly isn't.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the lads, if you'd like, at the football, who switched on with TV. Lads. Who, as you know who I'm talking about. He likes his film and TV, Scobie. I asked him about Loki. I says, I've not seen it yet. He says, it's fucking shite.
Loki, season 2?
Season 2. He wasn't impressed by it at all. So, they're just... I don't know what's going on with Marvel. They seem to have went off-piste and they just can't get back on.
Disappeared up their own arse.
They have. They just can't get back.
Yeah.
And I just can't see any way in which they ever get back. I think the loss of Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., Steve Rogers, Chris Evans has completely derailed the entire universe. People always spoke about how important Robert Downey was. He was the sort of godfather-like figure.
Yeah.
He was holding it all together. He was speaking to actors and it was all a big family and he was the sort of patriarch. Can't say that now. That's a dirty word, patriarch.
Some of the decision making has just been really poor, hasn't it? And handling of major characters like the Incredible Hulk, what they've turned him into, for
a joke.
For obviously the She-Hulk series and stuff like that, and just such a far cry from what we were getting with Edward Norton's. And it's nothing to do with Mark Ruffalo. I love Mark Ruffalo, fantastic actor, and a great casting choice as well.
I don't think I'll ever forgive them, Stephen, for not having Hulk get some sort of payback on Thanos.
Yeah, I know.
He made him a bitch to the point where he disappeared for an entire movie. He was basically Bruce Banner for an entire movie. Hulk disappeared. One of the strongest characters in the Avengers and Marvel, not just cinematic but actual comic book history, and he never landed a punch on Thanos in Endgame. That's what I mean. You can say, well, he did. He reversed his sort of life's work by doing the reverse clap thing.
I mean, it showed you how powerful the character was
click,
as well for
not
doing
clap.
that. Yeah. But yeah,
blip.
It's just certain decisions have been really strange. And I get there's a lot of politics going on in the background. That's probably maybe one of the reasons that Iger's had enough. It's probably too much.
Sleepless.
Yeah, it's
Couldn't
too much
sleep.
interference with certain things that have got to be said in film in terms of political views and stuff like that, and that should be kept out of film. We watch films to take ourselves away from the real world. Certainly comic book films anyway.
I've got no problem with real world issues being addressed in film. It's something that's been done time immemorial since not just film and its modern sort of manifestation has been a thing, but getting back thousands of years. Is it thousands of years? I don't know. Ancient Greek, you can in the sort of amphitheatres and you're having performances. They've always probably explored human conditions, social, sort of economic stuff and political stuff. That's been something that's been at the heart of human performance for millennia. But you have to do it in a way where it's sensible and it's organic in the actual...
universal. Yeah,
it's organic in the actual story. Not in a fucking superhero film where people just want to go out for 2.5 hours, eat popcorn, have a great time, and then have it connect into something greater maybe. You don't have to force the political agenda into every single thing. I love politics. I'm switched on in terms of politics. But even I'm getting bored with it. It's like enough.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. Just give us a great film. And if it has to connect into something greater, do it in the end credits like you did back in the day.
I mean, we've said this time and time again, John. I think after Endgame, they should have had a break. They should have had maybe a few years before getting back into it again. And I think perhaps maybe within, I don't know, 6 months was it? We got Far From Home, which came out. I know that's a Sony release, but obviously through Marvel. And I think they just went right into the Disney Plus stuff after that, didn't they?
Yeah.
With WandaVision, which I've loved WandaVision. Thought it was fantastic. But they've just went right off the rails over the last couple of years.
Well, in regards to that, we'll get into that because we've got a list here as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, John, we're looking at that list and it was something I wanted to talk about was that obviously the Kang thing.
I mean,
can't
that's
be
just
helped.
Not even spoke about that. We've not even discussed the whole Jonathan Majors nonsense.
It's just
unfortunate. Has been charged, hasn't it? With
I don't mean it's unfortunate for him. I mean it's unfortunate for the studio that that's happened. But you're looking at that long list there, and you're talking maybe five years before we're getting to.
But I mean, Stephen, it is the sort of crux of the actual what I was writing about, and what we're speaking about here as well. one MCU movie in a calendar year. That would have been unthinkable
Yeah.
3-4 years ago when we were getting 2, 3, and they were all consistently great. Maybe not 3 years ago, but getting back 5-6 years ago, 4 years ago, when we were getting consistently unbelievable stories. They were all connecting. It was all building to this universal conflict with Thanos and his minions. Every single release was doing north of $1 billion. It was just an absolute, what's juggernaut is the word I'm looking for. Every single thing. If you would have told me in 2019 that 5 years later, 4.5 years later, we'd have one Marvel movie coming out and it would have been a series of flops and disappointments and them all failing financially, Disney not even breaking $1 billion with a single movie in 2023, I'd have laughed.
One of the things that worked really well for the first few phases of the MCU, John, was the fact that they contained it within 4 or 5 characters, which meant that, you know, for the next 10 years, you're going to get these characters appearing in sequels every couple of years. I'm looking at Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, May the 1st, 2026, which will be 7 long years since the last Avengers film. 7 years.
Yeah.
It's too long.
It's way
this
too
is
long.
the issue.
Because they're trying to build a whole new cast of Avengers.
Captain America, I know it's obviously Sam that's going to be stepping into that, but it's still Captain America. The last Captain America film we had was Civil War, which came out in 2017, I think. 2018, can't remember. So you're talking a good 7-8 years for the next Captain America. I know we got obviously the whole TV series thing, which I didn't really like, to be honest with you. I thought it was a bit naff. But it's just big gaps in between. Wakanda, I take it, Eyes of Wakanda series, that sounds like an animation. Not really sure. And I know we've got some Spider-Man stuff in there as well. But
is Echo something you're interested in, Stephen? It's been out for 19 days now. Have you seen any of it?
No. And I think, do you know something? It does look okay to me, to be fair, and it's only because I like Vincent D'Onofrio and I love that character he portrays. But it's a strange one to bring him back in before we even get a Daredevil series on.
Yeah, and
Disney.
we are getting a Daredevil series, aren't we?
Yeah, Born Again, which we don't even have a date confirmed.
What's going on with the Blade movie? I mean, November 7th, 2025, that got announced like 2.5 years ago. Mahershala Ali's in his 40s. What's going on? Lost a director. Fantastic Four's happening. I mean, again, we've got no cast. We have got casting news about that, haven't we? I think
Can't remember.
Did it get confirmed? I think that was rumoured. We've still not really got anything. But Stephen, I mean, you've mentioned that they are. What have we got just now in terms of sort of main ensemble? We've got Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau, Miss Marvel, Doctor Strange, who they've completely gutted. America Chavez, I think that was the name of the girl in the Strange movie. We've lost Scarlet Witch, she's not coming back. Elizabeth Olsen confirmed it, not coming back. Realistically, we're going to get Jeremy Renner when he's been crushed with a fucking snowplow a year ago and he's still on the mend. Are we going to get this Echo sort of, what's her name, the one that was in the Hawkeye series? Maybe she'll step in. You probably get about 8 or 9 main characters. You've got Sam obviously as Captain America. You've got about 8 or 9 characters. Shang-Chi, not one of them is on the level of Captain Steve Rogers or even Tony Stark.
And up to this point, none of them have any interaction with any of the original Avengers that I know of anyway. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, in Shang-Chi, you've technically, I mean, the original, if you go back to 2014, 2012, whenever it was. No, I don't know if they have actually had an interaction. I genuinely don't know. So, it's just disjointed. They're not connecting the dots. They're rushing things. Now they've lost their big villain. They're going to recast. What's going to happen with that?
Yeah.
I mean, fucking film's called The Kang Dynasty. They lost the director from that. It was your man, Destin Daniel Cretton, who done Shang-Chi. Did Shang-Chi. Done's not even a fucking, in that context, in English. Done Shang-Chi.
I'm looking at a big pile of dung here.
I mean, it's just, it's disjointed, it's disconnected. There's no coherent strategy. Your main man at Disney, as I says, is leaving. It's just a shambles. You've even got the actors referring to it now. They're aware of the trials and tribulations with this cinematic universe. They want to rectify it. It's just, I think that was your man, incidentally, from Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Wyatt Russell.
X-Men 97, I would assume, is animation.
Yeah, these are all, 100%.
So Deadpool's the only big one for this year then.
The Spider-Man, that was the other big character, Tom Holland. We don't know if he's even coming back.
Yeah.
It's not even been announced. Is he coming back as
Live
Spider-Man?
action Spider-Man sequels, dates.
Would you want to see Spider-Man coming back as Tom Holland? Or do you just want to
No, I think
cut it?
John, we've waited long enough to get him into that sort of position that we were hoping he would get into, you know, a grown-up Peter Parker. So I do want to see that. I want to see another trilogy with Tom Holland. I think he really stepped up in No Way Home in terms of his character. And the fact that no one knows who he is as well, we're kind of resetting
Such an important character for the Avengers as well. He's a potential leader of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Alongside maybe Sam
and
as
the fact
Captain
that
America.
they've kind of positioned the live action Spider-Man sequels after both Avenger films suggests to me that he probably will be in the Avenger films as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But I'm just looking at
as well. I mean, it's so fucking long.
It's ridiculous. I'm just looking at 2024 at the moment, John. TV series.
It's not great.
Film. TV. I take it the Agatha one is the one from WandaVision.
Yeah. Part Code Diaries. Is that
again.
Yeah, Agatha.
Yeah. So you're talking about,
is that the actual
I can't remember.
Is that the actual actress's name? No, Catherine. Catherine, I can't remember. I think it is Agatha Harkness.
Yeah,
I have to search
something like that.
She was a great character, to be fair.
It's been such a long time since we've seen this character. And it just, I think they're just trying to shoehorn too much into a phase instead of just concentrating, keep the formula of 6 or 7 characters and stick to that. Yeah. Instead of doing what they're doing.
Are you looking forward to Deadpool though?
I'm looking forward to it, John. I loved the first Deadpool films, and I think I've got no concerns in terms of tone that it's going to change much. I doubt it very much. No. I think we're at the stage where Disney cannot afford to muck this up. They can't afford to do it with Deadpool. And I think just having Hugh Jackman in there as well, how big a role he's going to have in it, I'm not really sure, but it could change everything. It really could, you know. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I know you're talking 7 months away.
Yeah.
So there must be a trailer coming out soon, a teaser trailer. All we had was that sort of announcement thing, wasn't it?
I am absolutely buzzing for the promotion of this film. That's one thing I'm looking forward to. Because if there's one guy in the whole of Hollywood who can sell a movie, it's Ryan Reynolds. And if there's another guy who can sell a movie alongside Ryan Reynolds, it's Hugh Jackman. And then the press junkets with these two guys, it's just going to be incredible.
I think they need this, John. I think the MCU needs it. I think Disney needs it. They need those two guys more than ever. And it's funny because when obviously they announced Hugh Jackman coming back, I thought, I don't know if this is a good idea. Yeah. It's a great idea.
It is.
You know,
it's what we need.
It's what we need now. So,
and the Deadpool character's one I've loved as well, Stephen. So really looking forward to seeing how they're going to maybe finish this trilogy. Don't know if it's going to continue on the story or whether they'll do a soft reboot with the character and it becomes something different in a new series of movies. But I've really, and just who's going to make the jump over? I don't know if it's been confirmed, if Cable's coming over, if the obviously that's Josh Brolin, so that'd be a bit weird, but he's not a big purple guy.
That's it,
it's something different, so no reason why he can't. Whether you're going to get some of these characters from the other movies making the jump, but realistically it's all about Ryan, it's all about Wade Wilson.
Yep.
The laughs, the tone. I think he could potentially save the MCU from itself, certainly in the box office level. I think this movie's guaranteed to do money.
Yep.
Because he's just gold. Everything he touches does money. So in terms of financial, most certainly the first MCU movie in about a year and a half to do $1 billion. In terms of the actual output, sort of creative output, and what it does for the actual universe, that's still up in the air because I don't know how he's connecting in.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be part of the Avengers. Can that work?
Yeah.
A guy who breaks the fourth wall and looks at the camera and swears, can he be an Avenger? Time will tell with that. I would love it.
Yeah. I mean, it would certainly take it in a different direction as well, which is not a bad thing because I think they need something. They need something fresh. They need a new approach as well, a different formula to what they've been doing because it's not been working. So I'm looking forward to it, John. This is probably the biggest film of the year, I would say. Even out with comic book films, I think it's the biggest film of the year. You know, I'd actually have to look at 2024 and see what's coming out. Yeah. In terms of films, and then I'll maybe... there's not a huge amount. There's not a huge... Furiosa. Looking forward to that. Yeah. That did look decent.
I think you might be right, Stephen. You know that? I actually think you might be
I mean,
right.
there's some big. I mean, Joker's coming out as well, John. But
Kingdom
I
of the
think
Planet
that-
of the Apes looks decent.
I would imagine Joker's
yeah.
probably later on in
Yeah.
the year, maybe October time, September, October. But
The Garfield movie, yeah.
again,
Gladiator 2,
yeah.
I mean, fucking hell. Ridley Scott's not... I don't know. But was it him that did... It was him that did Napoleon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like that film. I didn't like it, man. I was really looking forward to it, just tonally. Oh, fucking weird movie, man.
John,
Really weird. Wasn't having it.
No, we're going to move on anyway to our final topic, and we're moving over to the DC universe, and this is all about the Batman 2, the addressing rumours. These are rumours that keep cropping up every now and again.
People absolutely hate Robert Pattinson.
I was going to say
Fucking
it's
hate
a
him.
lot of people they just want. They want.
Do you
to
not
offer-
remember when the first one was in post? They were talking about how he'd fell out with Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
They hated each other. Matt Reeves was ready to walk away.
Yep.
He will never work with him again. Then someone made up some bollocks rumour about him getting Zoe Kravitz pregnant. It's fucking madness. And it was all Doomcock and all these shit kickers from that.
fanboys, yeah.
They were all sticking the boot into Robert Pattinson. It's bizarre behaviour. Bizarre behaviour.
Strange behaviour from strange people, but the DC
Everybody fucking wears
universe
a mask on YouTube's for the watching.
exclusive.
You know, when it
James
wears a
Gunn,
mask periods for the watching.
addresses speculation surrounding the alleged cancellation of the Batman Part 2 in response to recent rumours. Following the successful 2022 release of The Batman, which introduced Robert Pattinson as a younger Bruce Wayne, director Matt Reeves is set to return for the sequel. This was a question that was actually asked from, I think it was someone called Eric Olivier.
Oliveira.
Yeah.
Oliveira.
On I think,
Oliveira.
Threads, which is Facebook's version of Twitter.
Yes.
X,
X,
as they
yeah.
call it.
I was laughing at that recently because I went on and they've still not updated the URL.
Yeah,
Still
I mean,
Twitter.
to be fair to Gunn, who's quite active on X most of the time, but he took to responding to this person's question.
He's great on social media.
Questioning the
Validity, yeah.
the validity
Yeah, it's
of the
Dude, I've been there as well,
conspiracy
believe me.
theory that Batman Part 2 has been cancelled. Gunn, he's refuted the claim with a no.
I
Simple,
love it. He's very abrupt.
and accompanied by an eye rolling emoji. I think it is, John. I think a lot of these rumours spiral from wishful thinking from spiteful little basement dwellers.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to have a part 2 of the Batman? The first film was fantastic.
Yeah,
We did a review on this
phenomenal.
With Gianni right after we went to see the film.
I
And
remember me going OTT with the back.
red and black. Yeah.
Ridiculous. A sort of wavy animation with the Batman logo. Oh, it was just fucking shocking.
It was like
God. You
it was
changed the logo.
It was
of
like
the,
a cross between a Matt Reeves film and what's that? The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
yeah, and I changed the MBE logo to a Batman style logo as well.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, but
Ridiculous.
I think it's fair to say
I
the
like
three
Batman.
the three of us did like. You still got the poster, John?
I loved this. I got that poster for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you took one as well
Yeah.
out of the sort of lobby of Cineworld. They were handing them out. Fucking great quality poster. Kind of matte, very light sheen off it.
Yeah.
Brilliant for sort of lights hitting it.
I think as well, John, there
Great.
was
Great poster.
Jeffrey Wright was interviewed, I think, on Entertainment Online, Entertainment Tonight Online, that is, and he was asked in an interview in regards to the sequel status, where they were at with it, and Jeffrey Wright said, have you seen as much of a script as I have at this point? Which kind of, I suppose, adds a little bit of fuel to
To be
the sort
fair,
of
Matt
rumour.
did say that he was taking a break. He wasn't
Yeah.
going to rush into doing a sequel. He was going to marinate and take his time with it. He said that right after the movie released, so he was transparent from the get-go that he wasn't going to do what your average sort of comic book director or franchise would want of him and get right into writing the sequel immediately because it's made money, it's a success critically. That means we have to rush it out. He said, nope, I'm taking a sit back, I'm going to rest and I'll take my time on this. And to be fair to Matt, I think Matt, I say this all the time, I don't know if it's actually true. I think I made this mistake before. I think Matt was involved in the Planet of the Apes movies, one of them anyway, not that one.
I think he was a young lad then.
War for the Planet of the Apes. I think he may have done War for. Did he? Yeah, Matt Reeves, War for
Yeah.
the Planet of the Apes. What was the other one? Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And obviously Dawn of the Planet of the
Yeah.
Apes. I think he may have done Dawn. I don't think he did Rise. But he took his time
Yeah.
between the sequels, as you can
Got to
see.
remember
He
as
did
well,
take his
John.
time.
He is developing a TV series, the Arkham TV series as well, which is obviously, I think, the Penguin's sort of centred around the Penguin character, isn't it? Obviously, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, yeah.
You know, and that's going to be very interesting. But
So when the Batman came out 2019, 2020? 2020?
22, yeah.
22. Did it come out 22?
Yeah.
Really? Fucking hell, I'm tripping out my box then.
2 years ago.
2 years. So, I mean, we're in that region then. Well, if he get production rolling within the next year, it wouldn't be too far out of what he was doing with the Planet of the Apes movies, where it was 3 years of a gap. I've got no issues with this, Stephen. I'm happy for a director to take his time and make sure it's absolutely right.
Because it was one of the things I liked about the first film was that, the pacing of it, and the bold decision to keep it tonally consistent for the majority of the film. It was really just the last 20 minutes it went all full on comic book. Prior to that, it was more like a film noir, LA noir type sort of detective thing going on.
Yeah.
And I loved that, you know, and it's something that we'd not seen in live action. We've seen it in glimpses in the Michael Keatons and the Christian Bale films and stuff like that, but they were predominantly comic book films and comic book tonally, you know, as well.
They were quite campy still, yeah.
Yeah, even the Bale stuff, yeah. But this was just something different, and it was just the pacing of it.
Dark as well, Stephen. And it's just the growth of the Bruce Wayne character.
Yeah.
Vengeance, vengeance, vengeance. And then he obviously sees how that's inspiring criminals and how it's almost having a negative sort of parallel sort of effect on the darker side of Gotham. And that shook him. And I also noticed it at the time. I think most people did, to be fair, when he fell into the water and came out, he was rebuffed. He was a new man. So we're getting a fresher, maybe not fresher, but a new take on Batman, even with the Pattinson Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So moving into this second movie and a third movie of a trilogy, it's going to be different again. You're seeing the growth of this younger, almost emo kind of Bruce Wayne. I fucking love it. Tonally, I thought it was a brilliant film. Paul Dano's still floating about
Cast
as
was
Riddler.
fantastic, yeah.
Yep, and you potentially get Barry Keoghan as Joker. Getting nominated for Oscars, this guy.
Yep.
He's in a real moment just now. So that's another supreme choice, casting choice from Matt Reeves and whoever's involved in the casting side of things. In this particular sub-franchise, this guy's in an absolute fucking moment at the moment in his career.
Kravitz was fantastic as well.
So with Kravitz as well.
Yeah.
They've just cast perfectly. They're all relatively young. There's longevity. He can take his time, Matt Reeves. There's no way this is getting cancelled. There's too much potential with that cast. There's too much potential with the story. And I don't think the audience, we've seen numerous Batmen, full Batman. It doesn't work as well, does it? As it does with Spider-Man. We've seen numerous Batman sort of iterations.
Batman.
I can't say Batman, it's just weird. We've seen numerous Batman iterations coexisting.
Yeah.
Obviously, Michael Keaton,
and Joker
Ben
as
Affleck,
well.
Joker. So the actual general audience are not going to be overly confused by Matt Reeves' Batman and potentially another Batman with James Gunn's thing over in the DCEU. They can coexist nicely.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever getting cancelled. It's bullshit.
Joker, Todd
Phillips,
yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing as I think, you know, James Gunn. Although I think he'd like to have went into, you know, this new role as a CEO or a fresh slate, but he's not going to cancel good and potential sequels to these original films, and definitely with the Joker sequel coming out later on this year, I think as well.
Lady Gaga. That's going to be interesting. How's that going to work?
Yeah. So
I'm intrigued by that.
I am as well. But you're right, there's room for it, John. I think James Gunn he's concentrating on Superman at the moment as well anyway, isn't he? This new Superman film.
I always forget that guy's name. David Cornsfit.
Yeah.
I clearly don't forget his name.
So I do, so I'm glad you're here.
David Cornsfit. Really looking forward to a new Superman movie. I can't tell you. That's a whole other conversation. Yeah. Long overdue.
That is, yeah.
A legendary cinematic character.
Superman, Yep.
Just a legendary score from John Williams. Everything about that character, that should be at the forefront of DC's mind.
Yeah.
Always. You would never see Marvel fucking relegating a Tony Stark or an Iron Man or a Hulk to the back burner while pushing something else. I mean, it's nonsense. Even the way they treated Jared Leto's Joker. I know it wasn't the best, but fucking hell, I love Margot Robbie.
It wasn't until we saw obviously the full version of those scenes that we saw the potential, and it was a shame.
Relegating
really
Joker
to
a romantic subplot in a movie to push Harley Quinn, that's strange behaviour. Strange behaviour.
Yeah.
So they have to get their shit together, and thankfully they've got the right guy in charge, in James Gunn, who...
Tell you something, the MCU could be doing James Gunn at the moment.
Certainly could. He's learnt from the best team, and he's moved over. And as I says, I love the way he interacts with fans. He's not up his own arse. He's very much straight-laced, and he'll come out and call it. Yeah,
he will,
He'll call a spade a spade. If someone says something that's not true, he'll just come out and say that's absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
They're talking nonsense. And we move on. So you know exactly what's going on with DC, and you know what's going on with him and Peter Safran. I'm looking forward to that new era of DC movies.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Because as Marvel's starting to tip off, it's about fucking time we got some DC movies rising.
Yeah.
Hopefully, to the occasion, because both are great
in
their own ways. They're both different beasts entirely. So yeah, no chances that Batman movie getting cancelled. It's all little panty wetter, quaver eating, Cheeto eating, basement dwelling losers who are absolutely raging about Robert Pattinson for some reason. I don't know why. He's the most inoffensive guy you'll ever see in your fucking life.
It's a jealousy thing, isn't it?
I mean, he's 6 foot, he's got great hair, he's dating like models and all of that. Get over yourself.
Yep.
Go out and better yourself.
And he's done his stint in independent films.
Movies, yeah. I think that's
he's worked really hard to get to where he is, John. It's not all about Twilight. Nope. You know, I think that's very ignorant.
And Harry Potter.
And Harry Potter, of course.
Cedric Diggory.
But I mean, the guy's worked his ass off, if you like. You know, and he deserves to.
Stephen, it's like the whole Heath Ledger thing.
Yeah.
I missed that, really. I wasn't
Michael
switched
Keane.
on. Where people just, they sort of double down in their dislike for a casting.
Yeah, they're not back down. They're not.
And they're like, no, I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And they just will the person to fail to prove their. But it's the same with football as well. You see it when people get signed, they're like, no, he's shit. And then they just, when it's blatantly obvious that the person's not shit, and they keep performing at a really high standard, these same little people keep sniping. No, they're not. They just don't want to admit they were wrong.
One day I'm going to be right.
Yeah.
One day they'll slip up, and then I'll say, "I told you all.
But it's not going to happen.
Shadows.
Pattinson's a fantastic actor, and Reeves is a brilliant director, and the rest of the supporting cast are all brilliant as well. And the atmosphere,
I'm
and the
looking forward
energy
to this
great.
TV series, a spin-off series. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with obviously Peacekeeper.
Yeah.
Fucking Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper, yeah. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, the
John Cena
one,
from Suicide Squad.
Yep.
He knows how to do spin-off TV shows and make them pop.
Yeah.
So I've got full faith in James Gunn, and I know that angers other people as well. There's people out there who hate James Gunn for some reason.
I've got to say, I know we had a little issue with our connection.
It was me, Stephen. I had a VPN on. It just defaults to get on when I start the PC. And it's fucking annoying. It's going to get uninstalled, and it stopped me getting on to Cineworld.
I was going to say, though, it's been okay, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Considering we've not done a live show in about 2 months. So
Stephen, I love talking.
Yeah, it's good.
There's a guy I watch called Mark Rebier, who's an improvisational singer, musician, and someone asked him to speak up in one of his final sort of touring things. He goes around America, does like performances on the street. He was in Venice Beach in LA. Someone told him to speak up, they were hard of hearing. And he says, that's something I've never had a problem with. I can't seem to shut my fucking mouth. And I'm like, you're my kind of guy, Mark, because I can't shut my fucking mouth either. Everyone keeps telling me, stop fucking talking. Have you got a problem? No, I just like speaking. So I've never had any issues. I love doing live shows.
It's great, isn't it? Can't wait to watch your solo one, John, with that music coming in. Yeah. It's going to be great.
To be fair, Stephen, I'm always high energy at the start. I'm like, fucking yes,
you have to be, don't you?
And then like 30 minutes later, it's like...
That's my just now, yeah.
My throat's like a fucking prune. Inverted. Because a prune's very much a mass, the object. It's a thing. It's a fish, isn't it? Is it?
A prune?
It's a fruit. I'm thinking about sardines. Dried sardines here, dried. No, it's not sardines, it's the other fuckers. There's fish, isn't there? Tinned fish What the fuck are they called?
Sardines.
No, they're in Lee and Perrins, Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know the fish?
Yep. Anchovies.
Anchovies. I think anchovies. Dried.
Salty.
Reversed.
Yeah.
Inverted. Very much a sort of tunnel, my throat, but it's dried out. I digress. I'm doing a Ricky Gervais type of thing here where I'm explaining myself too much and I'm getting down a fucking hole. What is your thoughts on the topics we touched upon on the show tonight? I don't know why I'm doing that. What's your thoughts on Siddharth Anand's fighter, Hrithik Roshan, Deepika Padukone's fighter? It's like he's got scissors in his hands. What's your thoughts on it performing well at a subdued box office over the weekend? They're number 6 in the United States of America, but not so well in terms of critical output. Rotten Tomatoes 27%. The audience, general plebington's loving it though. Share your thoughts down below about the film. Have you seen it? Would you recommend us going and watching it, or should we leave it until it goes on a streaming service and actually produce its content on the channel? What's your thoughts on Deadpool 3 emerging as the sole MCU movie for 2024 this year? Hard to believe it's 2024. Where the fuck's the last 20 years went? Can it save the MCU? Thoughts on James Gunn confirming that the Batman is not getting cancelled. It's all a bunch of panty waiters who have got an absolute raging boner, Ralph Boner, for Robert Pattinson, making up utter bollocks again, probably wearing a fucking mask, sitting in a little basement, in their mama's basement, on YouTube, called Doomcock. Anything you feel compelled to share, you can put down below in the comment section. That's the place to put your thoughts. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, follow button, notifications button over on Twitch as well if you've been watching us over there. I know that's not true, because we have had a couple of people on Twitch. Lex loves balls. I smashed the left. I'm going to fucking leave that. Lex loves balls. You can continue loving balls. Notifications button over on Twitch. All that's left to be said, those until the next time. Thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.